Hello everyone. Welcome to the online lecture series 2021-22 organized by Gokhale Education Society's BYK College of Commerce, Nashik. I am Sneha Ratnaparke from Department of English. In this video, we shall discuss Unit 4 novel and in that 4.4 The Sign of 4, which obviously means this is the last content point of our textbook and now your reading on your own starts. The present chapter has crime fiction as the base of it. All of us love detective stories, and in these stories, one of the most favorite and celebrated characters is Sherlock Holmes. You might have seen lot of Hollywood movies based on stories of Sherlock Holmes and his very dear friend Dr. John Watson. We have The Sign of 4 extract from the original novel The Sign of 4, written by the creator of Sherlock Holmes. Now let's see who he was. His name is Sir Arthur Ignatius Conan Doyle. Originally, he was a physician. He is very famous for crime fiction stories. He is the creator of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. John Watson, fictitious characters, those who became very famous in the world of classic literature. He has written 4 novels and numerous short stories with the same characters. The Sign of 4 is his second detective novel. Let's see something more about the novel. The cover page that you can see on the screen is of one of the editions that we have for The Sign of 4. As stated earlier, it is the second novel of Doyle. It has mystery of murder and treasure, wherein 2 friends encircle the entire mystery and they try to sort it out. And of course, the murder and treasure history and mystery is between again another 2 friends. So when we finish reading the actual original novel, we come across moral of the novel, which is also the theme of it, futility of greed. All the minor characters of the entire novel run around wealth and later on in the end finally realize that it is a futile effort to run after wealth and fame. So we understand shallowness of wealth when we finish The Sign of 4 reading. It is yet again one of the major interesting and engaging novels of Sir Conan Doyle. We should know the summary of the entire original novel as well. However, in our textbook we have extract of the same. We have only 2 chapters, namely chapter 2 and chapter 3 from the original novel. Let's see what is the summary of it. It's a story of Miss Mary Morstan. One day she comes to visit Sherlock Holmes with a case. The case is a very unique one. She states that her father is missing and he has been missing from last 10 years. Not only that, she states that after 4 years of the death of my father, I started receiving a letter by an unknown person, a stranger, along with a pearl attached to it, a real valuable pearl. And she states that every year the letter contains the pearl and details like you are wronged in your life and this is the compensation of the same. The reason, however, behind sending the pearl is not mentioned. The mystery continued for 6 years, and this year, present year, when Mary comes to meet Sherlock Holmes, she states that today I received a letter wherein the unknown man wants to meet me personally for the first time. She asks whether it is okay to meet and whether Sherlock Holmes is ready to take up the challenge. In the original novel, we come across many suspenses revealed by the brilliance of Sherlock Holmes, how he reaches till the mystery part of it and how he decodes it. It would be very interesting on your own part if you read the original novel, so I would really appreciate if you read it. You will enjoy it all the more. Now, the two chapters that we have in the textbook, they have three major characters: Sherlock Holmes, the detective; Dr. John Watson, his friend, who always helps him in the mystery solving part; Mary Morstan, the client of Sherlock Holmes. In the novel Sign of Four, we have other characters, namely Major Sholto, Thaddeus Sholto, Tonga, and Toby. They don't appear here in our textbook, however, they are very integral part of the novel. Let's see what we have in chapter 2, the statement of the case. When Mary comes to visit Sherlock Holmes, Sherlock and Dr. Watson are having a conversation. Entire novel is narrated through the viewpoint of Dr. Watson. So please remember, throughout the text, wherever we have I, it is not Sherlock Holmes, it is Dr. Watson. So Dr. Watson observes a young lady, who is dressed in a greyish style beige colored dress. She looks very simple, somber, yet she is amiable. She is lovable, she is attractive. So she comes and meets Holmes. She states all the issues that she has in her mind. Before that, she mentions that she knew Mr. Holmes through Mrs. Cecil Forrester. Please remember this name, Mrs. Cecil Forrester, at whose house Mary is working as a governess. She says Mrs. Forrester had a very minor case. However, for Mrs. Forrester, it was a very crucial case, and Sherlock Holmes solved it in a very elegant way. And from that moment onwards, Mary started appreciating him, and that's why she says she had come to meet Mr. Holmes. She starts narrating the entire incident, how her father was an officer in an Indian regiment. He was working in India along with his friend Major Shalal. So her mother had died. She didn't have any relative in England, and she was placed at a very comfortable boarding at Edinburgh. She remained there for a few years, and in 1878 her father got leave for 12 months, for a year, and he was ready to come back home. He had telegraphed Mary that he would be coming to London. He sent an address of Langham Hotel in London so that she could come there. She could meet her father, and later on, perhaps for the entire year, they would live happily along with each other's company. So Captain Morstan was at Langham Hotel. He was waiting for his daughter to come and meet him. Mary went there. When she went and asked for whereabouts of her father, she got the message that he was stationed there. However, from previous night, he didn't appear at the hotel back. He went missing. Throughout the day, she waited. After the suggestion by the hotel owner, she lodged a complaint of her father missing. And she says, from that moment onwards, I do not have any message, any news, any information about my father. Sherlock Holmes starts thinking on the same lines. He takes a notebook, starts jotting down the details. He asks, what was the date? She says it was 3rd of December 1878, exactly 10 years ago. Holmes asks what had happened about his luggage. She replies luggage was very much there in the hotel, but it didn't have anything specific. It just had some clothes, some books, and a considerable number of curiosities from Andaman Islands. as he was working at Andaman Island as an officer. Holmes immediately asks, didn't he have any friends in the town, in London? She says, I know only about one person, that is Major Sholto. He used to live in Bombay Infantry and they used to work together. We communicated him, she says. I definitely asked Major Sholto, but he was unaware of the fact that my father had returned back to England, as Major Sholto had reached London before Captain Mostyn. Holmes starts thinking about the case and he says it's a very unique and singular case. Mary says, I have not yet described the entire mystical part of it. Let me tell you what had happened with me from last 6 years. She says, on 4th of May 1882, an advertisement appeared in the Times in the newspaper and it stated that somebody wishes to have Mary Mostyn's, that is her address. In those days, technology was not advanced. They didn't have address or directory or any phone numbers which they could share. So people, if they wanted to meet each other, they would publish an advertisement in the newspaper and that's how other person would come to know about it. So Mary read in the newspaper that somebody wishes to meet her or somebody wishes to have her address. She thought of it. Mrs. Cecil Forrester, her employer, she said, you obviously can give your address. There's no harm in it. She gave the address in the newspaper and immediately on the same day in the evening, she got a letter along with a small cardboard box which was addressed to her and it had a large, lustrous, that is very attractive and valuable pearl. Nothing was written along with it except her address and her name. And from that year, every year on the same day, she used to get a box, similar box, with similar type of pearl. Without any clue, without any name of the sender, without even the mention of the city which maybe the person might be belong to. So in this way, she was confused. She thought it a very mysterious case and she wanted Sherlock Holmes to help her out. Sherlock Holmes also was confused. He started thinking on the same lines and he said, has anything else occurred to you? She says, yes, only today I got a letter for the first time from the same unknown stranger man stating that he wishes to meet me personally and he wishes to tell me something. So when she narrates the entire mystery of pearls and how her father is missing, Holmes starts thinking whether there is any connection between these two things. So he accepts the challenge. Mary says that in the letter it is mentioned that I should meet that man at 7 o'clock tonight at Lyceum Theatre and I am supposed to be at the third pillar from the left. I would repeat because these details do matter a lot when you would be reading the entire novel. The letter says, be at the third pillar from the left outside the Lyceum Theatre tonight at 7 o'clock. It also has some statement that if you do not believe me, you may have your two friends along with you to give you company, to give you support and encouragement. But please do not bring police. If you bring police, everything will be destroyed. Your unknown friend. So the person has clearly stated that she should not bring police. However, she can definitely have her two friends. She says, I don't have any friends over here because I have always lived all alone. But I trust you, Sherlock, as the one who would be solving the mystery. So I want you to accompany me. All through this narration, Dr. Watson is sitting very much there because Mary has stated, I don't mind if your friend sits here. Both of them agree to accompany her, and later on they await for the particular time to come. This is how in the second chapter we have Mary stating the entire case. In the same scene, in the same chapter, we see Dr. Watson sitting all alone in the same room. Mary has left. Sherlock Holmes has gone somewhere else. It obviously means that he is calculating the things and he is making it out how to go about it. So the next few lines suggest and describe how Dr. Watson is completely bewitched, impressed by Mary. He realizes that she is distressed, depressed, lonely. However, he also notices that she is beautiful, elegant, and a balanced young lady. Later on in the original novel, we see that Dr. John Watson falls in love with Mary Morstan and proposes him. So constantly Dr. Watson is thinking about her and Sherlock Holmes appears there. He has some facts with him. Chapter 3 discloses how quest for the solution has already begun by Sherlock Holmes. Here Sherlock Holmes says that I have solved the mystery, let's say partially. Because I can see few things, I checked it out throughout the day and let me give you some details. He starts narrating it to Dr. Watson. He says the day Captain Morstan might have died, he might have met his friend Major Sholto, his only companion who was there in India, also as an officer at Indian regiment. He might have come earlier. When Captain Morstan might have come, he might have met Major Sholto. We do not know the details yet. However, Major Sholto died in 1882. And Mary has started receiving pearls in the same year. After 4 years of the death or missing case of her father, in 1882, Major Sholto died. The same year, Mary started receiving the letter. So obviously, it must have a connection with Major Sholto's heir, his next generation. Maybe he knows some fact. Because the letter says that you are wronged in life. Something bad has happened to her. He says, Sherlock says that what else can happen with her? She was all alone. She didn't have much property with her. So if something is wrong there, that does mean that there was something with her father which she did not get in the end. He got missing suddenly. And the heir of Major Sholto knows something about the property, and that's why he is sending this pearl to her so that she would have a support financially. Half of the case is solved over here, where Sherlock Holmes says that yes, there is a connection between Major Sholto's death and Mary receiving pearl every year for all these 6 years. Now that the heir states that I wish to meet you, that does mean that he is in trouble, or maybe he feels it is time to reveal everything to Mary Morstan, and that's why he wishes to meet her. Dr. Watson is obviously impressed with all those findings and calculations and observations done by Sherlock Holmes. All the novels and short stories written on Sherlock Holmes as a detective do have these details, wherein Sherlock Holmes solves the mystery within a day or within a week, however tough it may be. Sherlock Holmes says now we only need to find out what secret the man has in store for Mary. So let's accompany her. By the time they discuss this, it's 6:30. Mary has already arrived. They start their journey in the carriage. They reach the theatre. As they start approaching the third pillar, they see a man waiting for them. In the journey before this, something important occurs. Mary says, "While I was coming here, I have found a paper. I forgot to mention this to you. And the paper has map and names of 4 people are written there. Jonathan Small, Mohammed Singh, Abdullah Khan and Dost Akbar." You might have understood why the title of the novel is The Sign of 4. The crucial part of the mystery is partially revealed over here. When Sherlock Holmes reads these 4 names, the entire map has few details which are not very clear. Something like 3.37 from left is written with a pencil. In the left hand corner of the map, there is curious hieroglyphic 4 crosses. Hieroglyphic means Egyptian script. They used to write with the help of pictures. So hieroglyphic 4 crosses are written, are drawn there. The entire map looks very old. Large buildings are drawn on it. The diagram entirely looks as if it is of some building with corridors, passages, halls, everything drawn very clearly. Those 4 names, Jonathan Small, Mohammed Singh, Abdullah Khan and Dost Akbar, are written in the end of it, as if these 4 people have signed the document. Sherlock does not reveal his curiosity and his observations. However, he says, now the case looks all the more challenging. He keeps the map in his pocket and waits for the person when they meet. The person takes them near the unknown person through a very mysterious journey. When they start their journey towards the man, they find that they are going away from the city of London. The hustle and bustle of the city is far behind. Entirely darkness hovers around the journey. Dr. Watson mentions in the chapter also that I was confused as to where exactly we were going. It was dark. It was not possible for everyone to understand the entire address. But in the chapter, if you read, you will understand what is the special quality of Sherlock Holmes. He could tell without peeping outside where they exactly were at that particular moment. On page 214, we would see at the end of it, constantly Sherlock Holmes is voicing out the names of the area or the square where they were. Rochester Row, Vincent Square, Wordsworth Road, Priory Road. Now we are at Lark Hall Lane, Stockwell Place. Without looking outside, he keeps on telling the places through they are going. And this is a special quality of a very intelligent detective who can just guess through the journey where they were. And when Dr. Watson and Mary peeped outside, it was exactly so. They finally reached the place. It was a very lonely place. The rest of the houses were not open and perhaps no one lived over there. All 2-storied villas were lined up and they reached the 3rd house. When they reached there, Dr. Watson and Mary, both of them were afraid of it. They were stressed, they were depressed to see darkness and loneliness there. The desolate place had only the servant. When they knocked, the servant came. He said, "The Sahib awaits you." Listening to the voice outside, the owner, who is actually the sender of the pearls and the letter, he says, Send them in. I am waiting for them. Send them straight to me. And this is where our extract from sign of 4 ends. Now, who is this man? Why does he wish to meet Mary? Why does he always say that you are wronged? For this, we must read the original novel, or if you are really intrigued and interested to read at least the summary and plot of the original novel, please do read your textbook where synopsis of the entire novel is mentioned, is written. I am sure you all will love that, you all will enjoy that. I would like to repeat that we do not have extract based questions for novel. We need to understand characterization, plot, theme, setting of each of the novel that we have prescribed for our final HSC board exam. So do read all the extracts right from 4.2 to 4.4. Recollect what you have understood through all the videos. Try to write your own answers. Try to bring out the details of characters and remember the plot and the sequence of the actions. So we finish the discussion of 4.4, the sign of 4 here itself. Thank you and keep reading.